Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You know you're on with Bert, rocking the sea for the land, and you know you got Lanny, the Dividend Diplomats. And guys, we're here to talk to you about the dividend stock buys and purchases from the past week of March 14th.
Before we jump in, you know the drill. Smash that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Yeah, this is still a holdover, Lanny, from the old Indians hats to the new Guardians hats, but still got the C rolling strong, so we're good to go. This hat's going to be able to make it.
Jose Ramirez on the side.
It is. Now let's hope that that doesn't get outdated here, because I saw some Jose Ramirez trade rumors sprinkling around.
Come on, guys. Give it up for the guys. Give us a thumbs up right now for everything that the Browns have done this past week, which has been the most crazy week in Browns free agency history, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, we had that last update when we were recording last time. Baker wrote his letter. He nearly demanded a trade, proceeds to demand a trade. Deshaun Watson says he's out of the Browns hunt. Then the Browns say, hey, here's a suitcase full of cash. Take this money. Now he magically wants to come to Cleveland. So here we are. But you know what? Ignore that. Cavs are crushing it. They're in the playoff hunt. Young, exciting team, just making moves. Similar to making moves, that's what you and I did the last week, Lanny, here, is we continued building our dividend income by buying undervalued dividend growth stocks.
Exactly. And even though the S&P 500 was up about, 6% maybe this past week, finishing over 4,400, almost 4,500 on March 18th, you'll see that a lot of our purchases were at the beginning of the week, thankfully. But guys, we bought stock. We're staying consistently invested in the stock market, regardless of what's happening with the Fed increasing, the Fed funds rate by 25 basis points, regardless of inflation hitting pretty much 8%. Looks like oil's coming back down as things are happening with, Ukraine and Russia. So guys, keep putting those dollars and assets to work to build that passive income stream.
That's exactly right. You will see the purchases front loaded towards the beginning, because at what point the S&P 500 was well below 4,200. It looks like the low point for the week was 4,162, which is insanity. Then you realize, the S&P 500 jumped up 300 points from that after finishing at 4,463. So it was an exciting week. Just to give a quick recap, when we're running through our purchases, when we're buying our undervalued stocks, we use the famous Dividend Diplomats dividend stock screener 3 metric, PE ratio less than the S&P 500, payout ratio less than 60%, history of increasing dividends, and we look at that bonus metric, the dividend yields. That is always on our minds here as we are going through our stock purchases and getting ready to add. So Lanny, do you want to kick us off this week? Guys, on Pi Day, what were your Monday purchases?
Oh, on Pi Day, nice. Yeah. All right, guys, as you know, every Monday, my wife and I purchase Vanguard's high dividend yield ETF. In fact, I just put out an article about a huge milestone that my own position of Vanguard's VYM is the ticker symbol, just crossed over $1,000 in passive income that's coming out of VYM. So guys, we bought each 2 shares on Monday. My 2 shares had an average price of $108.96. But my wife, she grabbed 2 shares. Another week in a row, she grabbed it at an average price of $108.66. So in total, we deployed about $435 and added about $12.40 in forward dividend income at an average yield of about 2.85%.
Does your brokerage have a setting that just says when you set up an automatic trade, just have my wife beat me by a fraction?
She's always right.
Yeah. All right. Don't cede that ground, Lanny. We can't cede that ground right now. We got to hold firm.
Yeah. Gosh. Now, in addition to that, not only did we buy the VYM, but I went hammer on Store Capital, ticker symbol STOR. They are a large, huge real estate investment trust, or a REIT, that pays out a very substantial dividend throughout the year. And they've been at a yield of well over 5%. Warren Buffett, you may have heard of him. The Oracle owns quite a bit of Store Capital. Again, ticker symbol is STOR. And I bought them in 3 different occasions during the week. First Monday morning, the trade went through at $29.47 for 2 shares. Then later that day, it was actually at $28.81. So I grabbed one more share, about 66 cents below the first price I got them on that same day on a Monday on Pi Day. But I got a little antsy. On Friday, I was like, I got to put a little bit more capital to work. I got to get my money out of cash that's losing money and put it into income producing assets. And I bought 5 more shares of Store Capital at $29.15.
That was my favorite text to get from you from that day. I just said, I bought 5 a store. It was pretty straightforward. Put a smile on my face.
You'll notice here was a relatively, not to say quiet week for the dividend diplomats purchasing dividend stocks. But we also did actually buy stock in our own investment LLC brokerage account, but we won't talk about that here on this video. But it was relatively quiet for us. But, in total, again, I bought 8 shares of Store Capital, ticker symbol STOR, really making a massive position here in this REIT. I deployed a capital of about $233.50, added a total dividend income from Store Capital of $12.32 at an average rate of about 5.3%.
Fantastic. I mean, since you started this Store Capital journey, the dividend yield was in the low 4s. It then slowly worked its way to the mid 4s. It's been crazy how fast it climbed up above 5 and how it's now hovering above 5.25 pretty consistently. I can't blame you for wanting to keep building up this position, especially as the market jumped as the end of the week, as you said, and there weren't as many opportunities. It's a great way to keep building it.
And I'm officially at about 175 shares of Store Capital. So, I've invested well over $5,000 into this dividend REIT. So really seeing the snowball build here from a dividend income standpoint.
All right, everybody. We love our milestones here. So Lanny, everyone give this video a like. If you want to see Lanny get it up to 200 shares there, that's 25 more per store. End of the month, Lanny, what do you think? Goal 200?
Let's do it.
All right. But you got to help us out here. If we don't get to 400, that goal is going to get kicked out till April. So let's think about it, everybody. Get us 400 likes on this video plus. We'll see what Lanny has up his sleeve.
Oh man. All right, pedal. All right. I got the fire now on my rear end. But all right, Bert. Yeah. So what did you do from a dividend stock buy this week?
This was a quiet week for me. So I only actually bought 2 stocks. So let me talk about our Monday purchase. As everybody knows, my wife and I each had 1 share each. Johnson & Johnson, the dividend king of all the dividend kings out there, the greatest, the showstopper. What else we got here, Lanny?
The main event, the icon.
Woo! Johnson.
Actually, I'm talking about Shawn Michaels. He's the main event.
We're just mashing them all up here. I felt like throwing a woo out there, so that's what we did. Johnson & Johnson, 1 share each. My wife and I got it. I had mine at 171.54. My wife's was at 171.67. In total, we each added $4.24 of dividend income, $8.48 combined from our Johnson & Johnson purchases. The yield, with the price jumping up, finally dipped a little bit below 2.5%. So always love grabbing J&J above 2.5. A little sad it's below, but hey, I love this strategy. My position's growing. Next up on my article, pal, Lanny, I might need to do another recap here, maybe as of March 31st, just to show the impact. Because it has been about a year. It has been the 1-year mark for the Johnson & Johnson. Maybe there'll be a video in the future too, the 1-year recap of the Johnson & Johnson strategy.
You have to. The dividend king, 1 year later, does the king still wear the crown?
Yeah. I mean, how many years has LeBron been wearing that crown?
Oh, only 18 years, but that's all right.
Keeps on going. All right, so that was our 1 big purchase for the week. I know, Lanny, you also had a few more purchases, so I might just take that ball, throw it right back to you, and just say, why don't you talk about your next purchase here?
All right, so guys, to jump back into my stock purchases, we'll try to keep it a little bit more of a zinger approach here. Obviously, you know that on my watch list, I've had Starbucks, ticker symbol SBUX. Howard Schultz back in the helm for the 3rd time as they look for a new CEO, as Mr. Johnson just stepped down. So Howard Schultz, obviously, Starbucks, that was a very positive impact to Starbucks share price once they knew Howard was coming back in. But I was able to capture 2 more shares before that stock popped back up. So in the beginning part on Monday, with my trade already was put in. I grabbed one share at $82.33. But then the stock price dropped. Stock price dropped below 80, brother. And what did I do? I bought one more share at $79.56. I invested $162, adding about $3.92 at a yield of about 2.4 to 2.45% on Starbucks stock.
Nothing, all smiles here. Looking at this one, point in my mouth. You grab Starbucks below 80. Congrats. There's nothing more to really say about it there. Starbucks below 80 per share. It's gone up $10 per share since that low point in which you grabbed it. Nice job, Lanny. Congratulations. I might take the ball back from you here, okay, and just go through my zinger here. All right. That's right. One-handed grab there. Get the first down. Let's keep these chains moving. Intel, ticker symbol IMTC. You guys know I've been watching Intel like a hawk over the last few weeks. I have been adding to my position throughout 2022. I love the company. I love where they're going. Short term, they're dealing with some headwinds. We know it. Long term, they're investing a boatload of capital. Jimmy Housen took note of Intel. They're like, we're going to invest in Ohio and Columbus there. And he's like, I'm going to invest in the Cleveland Browns with $250 million in Deshaun Watson. Neither here or there. Intel, we grabbed 3 shares at $44.39, investing $133.16, adding $4.38 from this position at a yield of 3.29%. Yeah, to me, Intel at $44.39 below 45 is it's a no-brainer for me to at least pick up a few shares. So I'll keep doing that every week.
I mean, your yield was above 3% when you bought them. They popped up about $3 per share by the end of the week, Bert.
Yeah. So, all right, looks like I'm not going to start the week off doing that then because I missed a jump there. But hey, I'm happy to keep grabbing Intel. So why don't you finish this off, Lanny? We're rounding third. We're heading home. Let's do it.
All right, guys. So, there's one more stock that, for those that have followed the channel and the dividend blog a little bit more too, in my wife's account, we loaded up on Preferred Apartments Communities, APTS. Obviously, they're going to be getting acquired. So once that stock popped up on APTS, we actually, which we don't do it often, but we did, sell out of that position once it went over $25 per share because that was around the essentially acquisition price. And I was like, okay, time to move it back into another REIT within the apartments arena for my wife. So we actually moved into BRT. Ticker symbol's BRT. They're another apartments REIT. So, been buying them now. So moved all of that position into BRT stock. And then with that, we also bought one more share this week of BRT as the ticker symbol again at $22.49. Added about 92 whopping cents to the forward income at a yield of 4.09%. BRT at the end of the week also popped up to almost $24. So, they're also seeing a little bit of a price appreciation, up about 5.5% this week.
So as you guys can see, again, we really front loaded our purchases for the week because we took a little bit of a breather towards the end when the stock market jumped up, and you can see that reflected in the prices we purchased these stocks and where they ended at the end of the week. So let me summarize here, Lanny. Our purchases were pretty light, $476.37 added between J&J and Intel. $12.86 of income, an average yield of 2.7%. How did you and your wife do?
Well, we deployed $853.11. Didn't break the $1,000 plateau, but that's what another week is always about. Can we break it this upcoming week of March 21st? But we did add $29.56 at a higher average yield of about 3.46%, obviously helped out by Store Capital and BRT.
Love it. So everybody, let us know what your purchases were for the week. How much dividend income did you add? Were you buying the same stocks we were? And don't forget our challenge we posted earlier in the video. Video gets 400 likes. Laney's going to hopefully, maybe, we can't force him to do it, but we're going to definitely pressure him to round out that Store Capital position to 200 total shares. Anything you want to add, Laney?
Yeah, I mean, guys, summarize some quick high level important items is, inflation is near 8%. The price of goods are dramatically increasing. If you have more than any emergency savings in your bank account, look to invest, whether that's in VOO, VYM, SEHD, VIG, VTI, just do something with your money because you're losing a lot of purchasing power. and start building that passive income stream if you haven't already. Bert and I are here for all the questions to help answer any of them that you have along the way to help start your financial freedom journey as well. Right, Bert?
Yep, that's absolutely right, everybody. We've appreciated the support over the last few years that we've grown our YouTube channel. It's about the community. It's about the sharing of the ideas and pushing each other to keep investing. It's a great call out there, Lanny.
Thanks, Bert. Again, guys, appreciate the love. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That was Bert, the Hurt and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats. Over and out.